start with a nice little shoulder shrug. And while we're doing this little simple, silly shoulder shrug that's light and fluffy, think about your breath and grounding into the earth. And my toes are tapping because I like the song, but you're not obligated to tap your toes. Now start to relax the arms a little more, swing the shoulders a little more. And now just swing them. Just swing them left to right, relaxing the shoulders. It's one of those coffee mornings for some people. And let's bring it in. We're gonna roll the shoulders up and back. Use both shoulders together, but then after a few, just see if your body wants to add its own little rhythm with switching it up, left and right. Let the elbows come up a little higher, still rolling up and back, creating some expansion across your chest, the heart space. And then take the arms a little wider and notice that I'm adding a little bit of ribs. Now, for me not to fall over, I might want to stand a little wider with my feet. It's just a little wave flowing back. And we're going to make this movement first bigger, reaching up and back. And then we're going to make it smaller. Bring it in, take your time. And now we're going to slide the ribs, palms up and back, and take turns. So when I reach towards the left, my left palm reaches up and my right palm reaches down. So whatever direction I'm leaning towards, that's the palm that's going up. So we're moving spine and we're seriously warming up our shoulder girdles. Not to be confused with girdles like the article of clothing. I mean just, this whole area in your shoulder. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take the arms out, don't drop them yet. Tapping your shoulders and extend. Bring it in and out. Now, if you want to add a little hip slide, we're going to take turns. Right fingertips down and the right hip meets it somewhere. And we switch. Still moving our hips side to side. Fingertips pointing down and then to the shoulders. Hopefully the shoulders are getting warm. Notice I'm keeping my elbows at the same height. And 4, 3, 2. Yes, good news. Well, sort of. We're going to take the arms out, step a little wider, bring the arms forward, right hand on top, sweep it up and push. Give your hips a little funk. And left hand on top, sweep, reach up, push out, and move those hips left to right. Anybody's arms feeling tired yet? Because my shoulders are saying, Mama. Now both hands, doesn't matter which one's on top, because we reach up. And yes, we let those arms go. But we're now going to take the movement, bring it down into the ribs, shifting our weight side to side. Letting our knees soften, letting our core provide stability. And 3, 2, 1. Straight leg tick-tock, side to side. I need to fix my pants. Actually, it's not my pants, it's my shirt. My shirt was doing something weird. Left to right. And now, notice I'm just softening my knees. So I'm pushing my hips to the side by pushing into the ground. And now I'm adding a little shift of the whole body with this slide. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and give me some big funky hip circles. Forward, around, and back. Now when we go forward, don't jam your lower back. Just moving the hips forward and around. And back. Reverse direction, go the other way. And as we're taking this roll around, love for you to just check in with your body. Where are you feeling a stretch? A little tenderness? 3 more. And 2. And 1. Rise up, right hand slides down, and we pulse. Just around fingertips in the kneecap. Focusing on the abdominals, the obliques, doing this movement, not because you're hiking the left shoulder up or down. 3, 2, 1, and we switch. Notice I'm not shifting my hips. I'm staying steady. My hips in that middle spot between my feet. And it's just a little pulse. Sliding my hands down. I'm using a little bit of exaggerated breath so that I can really pay attention to when my obliques have to work. Plus I'm talking, so, you know, I feel like I've got a little extra work. Now we're gonna come up. We're gonna bring the feet a little closer. We're gonna walk in a circle, flowing through the hips and trying to keep some type of rhythm. And I'm walking with flat feet. We're gonna do the heel one shortly. Notice I didn't tell you what direction to move your hips and circle around because we're now gonna go the other way. Circling in and around. Getting some movement for our lower back and some coordination. The last circle around before we get dizzy, because you know that's a thing. We're going to pull the elbows back, chest forward, and we're gonna push and round away. Pull back and round. Around and pull chest forward. Around, pull your chest. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in, just the ribs. And I've got my hands kind of in my armpit here, so I'm guiding this movement so that my hips don't move. If you want to bring your hands to your hips, some people do that, but then I see the shoulders. Try not to lift the shoulders. Now we're going to combine the front and back with the side to side. Front, side, back, side, front. Right, back, left, front, right, back, left, front, and then smooth out the edges. And my hips stay put, so I'm not using my back. Forward, side, back, and around. Reverse direction. Going the other way. I know sometimes moving this part of our spine can get really like, what is my body doing? 2 more. And the good news is we shake it out, fix our pants. But we're gonna let the arms and the hips move in this little march. Adding your own little flow. You can get funky with the arms or not. And then add a little twisting walk. And the idea is that we're exploring movement with the spine and how it affects how we walk. Now, instead of turning in, can we turn out? Heel it out, but we're moving the spine. A little reach with the arms. Get those shoulders back warm if you want. 4, 3, 2, and bring it in. heel march with the feet about hip distance apart. Just a little heel march. And you can lift the feet up or keep the toes down. Just a nice little heel march. Nothing too complicated. We're going to start adding more, both internal and external rotation for legs, and something that requires just a little bit more power. So now take the left foot to the side, point the knee away. We're going to hip bounce. With the heel lifted, we're pushing into the floor. And 4, 3, 2. Now this is where we're going to lift that knee up and just tap it down. Keeping that external rotation, staying nice and steady in the rest of your body. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to bring that knee forward and just lift it up and down. Trying to keep a check on our spine so that we're not doing this weird funky lift. Activating the front of our hip flexors. Using the exhale can help give you that little extra oomph to bring the knee up. 4, 3, 2. Bring it down, but keep that heel lifted. Hip bounce here. And just want you to not lean forward and back through the spine, but put more weight on the front foot and then the back. Front and back. Noticing where balance, where core, and where your body automatically just wants to bend at the hip. Last one forward, and we release. But now this same leg, we're still standing on the right. The left leg comes up and across. And just a little lift. So it's this awkward, like I have to pee pose, and we're just popping that knee up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and bring it down. Now instead of the hip bounce, we're going to let our own body guide us how far we can turn to the right, and then back forward. To the right, forward. And yes, I have to utilize the mobility in my ankles. Last one forward, stay. Soften the knees. Just soften the knees. If you need to go onto the outside edges of your feet, little pulse. This is about mobility, functional, wild, wacky movements. 3, 2, and rise up. Take that same left leg behind right away, and we pulse. Notice that my body wants to turn towards the left, and I'm keeping it forward. 5, 4, 3, 2. Now push off that back foot, bring it to the side, coming into a little bit of a warrior 2-leg position. I'm going to shift, just pulsing into that left knee. Now I'm going to add a little pivot through the heel. Toes to the left, toes to the front, toes to the left and front. Side, front. I can add anything I want with the arms, or just relax, have them on my hips. Toes forward to the side. Forward, side. 3, 2, 1. With the toes forward, we're going to push into the left foot to bring our right foot closer. Bring it in. So now all of that, hope I remember everything, it's going to take place with the other leg. So first up, right leg to the side. Now don't turn your body, keep the body forward and just this rotation, and we hip bounce. You can have your hands on your hips, take them out to the side. You can get funky, anything that you want to create some unique flow that is yours. 4, 3, 2, and now it's just the knee pop. Up and and down. Exhaling it up and down. Some of you might want to go really high. I'm focusing on stability versus a lot of rib and core movements. So this is why I'm keeping it here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and bring it forward. So side view, I'm just popping the knee up. Making sure that my lower back feels stable and supported. 5, 4, 3, 2, bring it down. Keep the ball down, heel off the ground, and we hip bounce. You can take it faster, slower. Find a rhythm that works for you always. I'm noticing I'm feeling a really good stretch in my left hip as I push my butt to the side. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and put weight into that left foot. That right foot's gonna come across, bring it up and across. Now when I'm doing this, I don't have to keep a straight leg. I'm just pulling the knee up, just in line with the hip. Keep going. I have to readjust whenever I move angle so I don't fall over. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release the foot down. You can get really close depending on your leg movement. Now open to the left, and yes, I'm kind of pivoting on my inside foot there, and back to the front, to the side, front, side. And I'm kind of figuring out how this feels in my body. I'm controlling this. 3, 2, 1, come back to neutral. I need support on the outside edges of my feet because my thighs are too big, I think. And I'm just softening the knees. I don't have to come all the way down. This is just to create movement. Whoop. Balance, awareness, stability. Whoop. Which clearly this side doesn't seem to have as much of as the other side. 3, whoa, 2, and bring it up. Left foot stays, right leg comes up and around behind right away. Instead of turning to the right, I'm staying to the front, and I'm adding a little pulse in this curtsy lunge. Making sure I'm not arching into my back. I'm pulling tailbone slightly forward or down. 3, 2, 1, and I push off that right foot, bring it all the way across, coming into a warrior 2, and I pulse. So I realized I was too far over and I was gonna get off my mat. Pulse. How are those legs doing? I'm hoping things are getting warm. We're gonna add the little rotation, the pivot on the heel, toes to the right, toes to the front, to the right and front, right and front. Side, front, side, front, side, front. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay at the front. I'm going to push off the right foot to bring the left leg in towards the middle. And we're going to heel march. Just a nice little heel march, but add a little hip. Get hippie with it. So we're going to start doing a few other movements and then adding a little bit more dynamic. Stay with me. Right foot stays, left toes forward and back, front and back. Right now my shoulders are staying over my hips. It's just my leg moving. So this is my option 1. Option 2, I don't ever put my heel down and I'm shifting my weight into the ball of the foot That's moving. Front and back. Front and back. Hands can do whatever they need to keep balance. I find moving my hands in the opposite direction of my foot seems to help that stability. 4, 3, 2, next one forward. Keep that left leg there. Keep the heel up. We're shifting the hips forward, and this is a little pulse. Stretching out that back leg, strengthening the front knee, just a little pulse. So front view, all we're doing is a forward pulse. 3, 2, step it to the front, heel march, shake it out if you need to. I like the heel march, it kind of level sets just about anything and everything. Now that whole same thing, not super complicated, is going to happen on the other side. Left foot stays, right toes forward and back. Front and back. Front and back. Now you can keep it here, shoulders over the hips, or staying on the ball of the foot. I'm shifting my whole body with that moving leg. By staying on the ball of my foot, there's definitely some challenge for balance and stability. Focusing on ankle strength and support. Back, front, back, front. Let's go for 2. And next one forward, stay. Stay off that front heel. And we pulse in. It's a stretch for the back leg. It's a strengthening and lots of awareness for the front leg. Whoop! Stay here just a little longer. 4, 3, 2. Push off that front foot. Bring it back. Give yourself a little shake. Sometimes that helps, sometimes it does absolutely nothing. So just be mindful that your body might be different. Just play with a little lean and tap. So you can do one of these, keep it simple. But the goal here, where possible, is to shift the weight with your balance so that your body gets a chance to react, to respond to the possibility of, what if I don't, pay attention? Will I fall over? Probably yes. Turn this lean and tap to heel to bum. Keep those knees back, keep kicking back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take the feet down. Figure 8s through the hips, circling around and around. Get the whole body flowing in this figure 8, and it's drawing a figure 8 on the floor. Forward, around, and back. And 3, 2, 1, center. Take the arms out, come down halfway. That means shoulders somewhere aligned with your hips, give or take. It doesn't have to be precise. But I want you to give yourself permission to shift the hips behind the heels. So you're not trying to fall forward. You're using your body to balance this pendulum. Taking the arms to the side, add a little pulsation here. Waking up the back of the body. If this is feeling too strenuous on the knees, soften the knees without buckling them. And 4, 3, 2, and rise up by softening the knees, come back up. Now it's a figure 8 with our arms and the whole body. We're going to take it down and across. And be dynamic if you can, in the sense that you're flinging stuff stress away and down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it up. Hands to your heart for just a moment. Quick touch point. How's it feeling? How you're breathing? You don't always have to wait for me to do that. So now hands to thighs. Forward fold, come down slow. Hands get as low as you can. I'm able to reach the ground. If that's not an option, you can always use a yoga block. But if you have your hands on your thighs, have them above your kneecaps, not on your kneecaps. Nod your head yes. Then shake a little no. Bring your hands underneath the shoulders and walk your hands forward to the point where you feel like you can access a flat back. So if my hands are too close, I am rounding. But if I go forward, I can flatten my back. I'm going to put more weight into my hands, lift up my heels, and release. Now, as I lean forward, I'm lifting up through the belly button. My belly button is doing the lift, not just my legs. 2 more, lifting up. And then from here, I want to say simple, it depends on which way you're facing. Walk the hands even forward more, step the feet in line so that they're wider than the hips. If you're using a yoga mat, they're about mat width apart. Heels are angled in, and you're going to drop those hips down towards your heels. Exhale, lift up. So we're not shifting our weight forward. All we're doing is dropping our bum down. So there's actually very minimal pressure on my wrists, but there's a heck of a lot of stuff happening in my lower body. Some of it I'm not sure I'm enjoying right now. Last one down. Pressing up. Walk the feet a little bit more in line. Take the left foot towards the midline, right leg comes up, look forward. Bring that right foot all the way to the outside of the right hand. Drop that back knee down. We're in a low lunge. Now, depending on your range of motion, you're going to round the spine, but we're trying to go for a long spine. So I'm actually going to reach around and hug my thigh in so I can bring my chest forward. Don't forget to breathe here. 3, 2, and wherever your hand was, I'm not looking, bring the hand back down, tuck the back toe up, and we just pulse it up and down. And now drop that back heel. The left heel comes down, and this means my back is to you for just a moment. We're going to shift our weight onto the right hand and left arm comes up, just for a moment. We'll reach it forward and down the arm, and once both hands are on the ground, lift up that back heel again. Power off the back foot, bring it forward, coming into a wide-legged forward. Well, when I say wide, I mean just the width of your mat if you got one. Wide, nod your head, shake it no. Add a little bounce, or not. And then fingertips to support, dropping the hips down as low as you can. As low as you can. You might need to shift your heels inwards and toes outwards to make this more accessible. I'll just come facing this way. My heels are in, toes out. I can do it this way, but it does not feel as good in my knees. So it's not necessarily about making things easier for ourselves, because some of this stuff is just awkward. But it's recognizing range of motion and working within those limitations while still dancing on the edge-ish. So from here, we're going to bring the hands down. We're going to lift our bum up, toes forward, and then get a little silly. Shake your bum. Just shake your bum. Walk the heels, shake your bum. You can pretend you're Bart Simpson going, na, 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 or not. Now, we're just going to step the right leg back. Drop the right knee down, lifting our chest forward, coming in our low lunge. So I'm just going to reverse direction here so you can see. So this is not about rounding the spine, I'm pulling chest through. For me to access this, it feels much better if I can hug that thigh in. Of course, I have to fix everything first. Really allowing my back hip flexor to release. Staying in a stretch for 2 seconds really doesn't do anything for it except put it into stress mode. 3, 2, bring that left hand down, tuck the back toe up, back knee up, and we pulse. Now drop the back heel down. Keep the left hand down, the right arm reaches up to the sky, and just play with this for a moment. You can always drop the knee down if you need to. You don't have to reach up, you can stay. Bring it down, back heel lifts up, power it off the back foot. Come forward and sink right down into your variation of Malasana, aka yogic squat, aka the position where people are like, is my butt crack showing? So, this has got you prepped and warmed up for one last dynamic thing that we're going to do. So, bear with me, I'll show you different options. Hands to the ground, step it back, downward dog. So, option 1 is right leg comes forward and we just drop it down, the back knee, and we reach the right hand to the sky. And we bring the hand down, we push off, step back, left foot, drop the right knee, left hand comes up. Option 2, it's the same thing, but we're not dropping the knee. Downward dog, lunge, reach, release, dog. A lunge, release and twist, and back. Now, if you really want to go level 3, because this is boring and super easy, there is another version. And it's not going up in a downward dog every time. It's here, our lunge. We reach, bring it down, and we jump to switch, and we twist it up and back. I'll show front view just to give you an idea. Downward dog, whoops, although I'm not on my mat now. Side, and I twist. You can try the jumps, or not. You can downward dog it, step it, you can even drop the back knee down. Find a variation that works for you. And do one more each side before meeting me in downward dog. Walking the dog, meet me in your dog. Now, instead of just walking the dog, I want you to put some weight onto the top of your foot, 1 foot at a time. Now, walk it in a little closer. And then bring your knees down, coming into a kind of a crunched table. Crunched table just means you've shortened it on purpose. So not a normal table with the hips in front of the knees. I'm on the flats of my feet, the tops of my feet. Exhale, push weight into the tops of the feet and float your knees. If this is absolutely impossible for your feet, you can tuck your toes. The goal here is to create some mobility and some stretch and strength. Now, if this is easy, floating table you could do all day. Join me in a pulsation, a lift up and down. 3, 2, and 1. Taking the toes, tuck them one last time, float the table. And then step the left leg back, pull the right knee forward, and we're coming into more of our pigeon pose. So if this is not accessible, there is the variation where you go on your back, but I'm going to stick with this one for now. Keeping your hips moving forward. Go ahead, come onto your forearms if you want. We're going to stay here for a few more breaths, so just really breathe into it. So if there's something that your body needs in this pose, to go lower, to go deeper, or to just dance on the edges of your comfort zone, please do whatever your body says, hey, you know, it'd be nice if you did this. Maybe it's going up a little higher. I'm starting to feel like my back bend is going the wrong way, so I'm going to play here to create lift and engagement through my spine, and I can play with twists. I can reach up and back, or not. I can rest my head. Wherever you are, bring your weight down over onto the right bum cheek. Whatever leg was in front, you're going to bring the left leg up and around and cross it over the top. So I'm here, sitting up tall. Now my body does not let me have both feet on the ground, and so I find a place where I can feel stable through my hips. Whereas here, I'm doing some weird twisty thing with my spine that doesn't actually feel that good. My stability in my hips is more important. And I'm feeling this in my hips, baby. Woo. And then we're going to shift now. We're going to put some weight into that left foot. Lean over to the right, because we're going to lift our hips up, and we're going to push our hips kind of towards this wide-legged forward fold, saying hi, and we keep walking towards your right foot, which is on the left side of your mat, pivoting and to come down. And again, if I put my feet down, I'm sacrificing spine, so I'm going to focus on my hips. Sitting down as comfortably as I can while encouraging the foot to come down where possible. Recognizing it may never touch the ground. And guess what? That's okay. Sometimes when we get into these poses, we might get a little foot cramp or calf cramp. Or sometimes my hip actually says, something's pinching. Can you like just shake it out and fix me? And so be mindful of what shows up in your body. Now it's going to be the right leg that's going to swing all the way around and behind us, coming into our pigeon pose with the left leg forward. So fixing my pants, because you probably don't want to see my ass crack. So with this movement, I've come into it and I've recognized my left knee is not appreciating something about it. So I need to kind of almost come out, do a little stretch, and understand where in my body I can realign. Sometimes we move too fast into a position and feel a pinch of pain. And we come out thinking, oh, well, that pose is not for us. And really, we came into it too fast. If we flowed into it a little slower, we can give our body a chance to find its groove in the move. And for this one, if you wanted to come down low, or if you wanted to come up high, you can create any variation. Now this one is really not happy on my knee, so I'm going to stay here. I'm actually going to go a little lower to see if I can work out the kinks, because I can use the strength of my forearms to support, and I can shift a little around, forward and back. Wherever you are, we're going to shift our weight back, but just enough that you can just take that same leg, slide it down, and come all the way onto your back. Going to sway the knee, sway the knee side to side. I said ooh because my lower back felt a little bit of a release. That felt really good. So just see if you can keep your palms up, nothing touching fingertips. And we're just slowing everything down, giving our body a chance to really breathe into the space. Take a moment, bring the heels really close to your bum. Press the heels of the ground, curl up one vertebrae at a time, lifting the hips up off the ground. Coming into a low glute bridge. And then shift the weight onto the balls of your feet to lift up the heels. And then with the heels lifted, come down slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Draw the knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a little hug. Ooh. I like this a lot today. Reach down, slide your hands across your shins. I'm all about the happy baby poses, just cause. Now the goal here is not to do the splits. It's to keep the heels lifted, pressing the back, the lower back of your body to the earth. Stay here for 2 more breaths. Bring the feet together, release the feet down, coming into Supe the Recline Cobbler's pose. Take your arms out to the side. Relaxing your jaw. Softening the space between your eyebrows. Wiggle the fingertips. Just give them a wiggle. And then let your head roll left to right. Little massage for the cranium. And on the next inhale, circle the arms up and over. Make a big stretch. Reach, reach. And then as you exhale, reach the arms around. Draw the knees in towards your chest. Little rock if you so choose. Then coming onto a side, pick a side. Press into your hands, make your way up into seated. Take your time. Check in if there's any dizziness, slow everything down. We're not going anywhere, so don't worry. Just would love for you to sit for a few moments with hands on knees and just wherever you're feeling some strain or some tension, use the healing power of touch in your hands and just find the spot, and just give it a gentle rub, stroke, pat, cuddle. There's all sorts of names and some of them sound X-rated, so just please keep that in mind. Make these movements. Well, you're in your own home, so really you can make them as appropriate or inappropriate as you need. But today my knees are saying, oh, thank you for some love. Thank you, knees. Thank you, hands. And hopefully after a few moments of this, you're feeling some tingling in the palms of your hands. And once you've got that feeling, take both hands over your heart center, bow your chin down. And take a moment to offer up some gratitude for your body for letting you do what it did today, for waking up this morning, for taking each breath I know the world is getting stranger by the day, and we're not sure who and what we can rely on anymore, but right now, with your hands over your heart, this is something you can rely on. The power of your heart, the strength of your soul, and the wisdom of your body. Inhale, circle the arms, reach all the way up to the sky. And on the exhale, great big sigh. And that was our flow to surrender for today.